Let's get this shit over and done with. Right, so let's get it all up already. Hello everybody and welcome to round 19 of the SLR F1 Championship. I am your commentator F7 here for you today as we are heading round the overcast track of the circuit of the Americas as we head down to the last 3 races of this championship season. And first off, I'd like to apologise to everybody out there, including the drivers that are on track at the moment, for the lack of drivers we've got on track today. We've only got the 12 due to, you could say, my fault or the people that didn't bother even telling us there wasn't going to race. Personally, it's a fucking disgrace. Just going to say as it is. As a league owner, it's embarrassing and we just have to get on with it. Got that bit over and done with. As we head to the back end of qualifying, I'm going to start my actual commentating. We're on board with Surface at the moment, who's leading the championship, and yeah, he's heading around to find a few corners on his outlap. We'll keep on board with him while I load the championship standings. Why is everything verifying me now? This is taking the piss now. Let me in. I don't know why, but Google's decided that every password you have to change now, so nothing logs in. Hence why the stream was late. It's really annoying me right now. Load the standings. I don't even know why we have that page for. Piss off. Right, so did he update the standings? He did. Did he? Did he? Yes, he did. So the gaps are as follows. We've got Kalkas, who's 50 points off. We've also got Connor's 50 points off Surface, and Donby, who's 45. We've got Messino's now P2, who's retired. Kalkas is P5 and retired. Surface is on provisional pole at the moment. Nobody else seems to have an answer to that time of 1:30.5, which is a good time from him as he tries to clinch on. Can he clinch the championship today? No. It's not a championship decider, as there's 2 rounds after this. Hopefully I can get some of those guys' arses and to be able to actually turn up to make it an exciting race, instead of just having 12 drivers trundling around. We've got 12 viewers and we've got 12 drivers. Surface goes even quicker. And how embarrassing is that? I'm on board with Dara. Doan's actually coming to the line. We'll go on board with him. He's nowhere near. He's nearly half a second off. So it's going to be a domination from Surface. I'll look at the tyres to get them all loaded up. It's all softs. Might be a bit of rain in the race. I'm hoping for a bit of rain. A bit of controversy would be lovely. Although I don't want any retirements because we don't actually have enough drivers to make it interesting for the whole 29 laps or what it is, whatever it is. So it'd be nice if people could keep it out the wall and we can have some nice racing. As Dario comes to line and he goes P4 for whatever that qualifying was, but pay his dues. His Surface is on pole and he deserved it. His first pole in a while, actually. Nearly 2 tenths to Messina. Kalkas apparently loaded the wrong setup. I call bullshit. But he's down in P6. I don't think he's practiced this week. That feeling. I didn't know if he were racing until earlier today. But he says he doesn't practice most weeks, so it's hard to tell. But CYP is only 10th off him, so maybe he's right. Baby Shark has joined. We have 13 drivers and 13 viewers. This is working quite nice. Can we have some more viewers? I might get some more drivers. This is going up. Most of them are Italians as well. 2 Germans, 2 English, Finnish. Where's Baby Shark from? I think he's Italian as well, is he? Or is he Dutch? I can't remember. Is Baby Shark on the grid? He's not even on the grid. Am I missing something here? I already started the stream with Spoon. I'm getting very mad. I feel like I'm being strangled as well. Because this wire's around my neck at the moment when I have to charge my headset. It's really annoying. It also makes a really loud buzz. Hope it don't come across on stream. I don't think I've heard it before. But to talk about the championships, so use words you can yet to use. About the championship, it cannot be sealed today, but it can. In fact, that's bullshit. Of course, it can be sealed. There's only 2 races after today. So basically, everybody's got to try and get within 50 points of Surface. So Surface wins the race. He's won the championship for the 2nd time back to back, and would equal Thorium's record of 2, I think. No one definitely has got more. I think Thorium got 2 though. I believe he got season 4 and 5. Baby Shark didn't even get on the grid, which is interesting. I'm quite disappointed AJ didn't even try and get on the grid. Apparently I had internet problems, but he didn't even try to get on the grid, which is more disappointing. I mean, that would have took us up to 14, and that would have been fairly where we've been in the last few weeks. And then you've got like Chrome Dutch Hunter. I don't know where he is this week. Kiski hasn't been here for a few weeks. I think he blames that on AOR, focusing on that. Clervo said he couldn't make it. Really, I wasn't expecting him to turn up anyway. And Danny possibly could have turned up, but you know, these are all the things that we're going to have to deal with week in, week out, especially with this lot. But I'm hoping next season I'm definitely going to rectify this situation. I'm not having this again. We're going to get some full grids, that's for sure. Going to make it happen. And then we're going to have some fantastic races through that. Well, that's the aim anyway. As we line up on the grid, and we'll start commentating on the race instead of chatting shit. As we've got the Renault on pole. That's a familiar sight of Surface on pole. He hasn't been there for a very long time. There hasn't even won a race in like 8 races or something. Britain is his last win, Silverstone. So really we're hoping for an incident in turn 1, but as we go to 5 red lights to close this championship lead, as we head to lights out and away we go. Milik's quite far up this time as well, but it looks like Surface has got a nice start. We've got the McLaren down the inside. We're going 3 wide as Milik's has gone right round the outside. Cheeky from the Racing Point. He's going side by side with Messina, but Messina decides to back out. We've got an incident. I think Kalkas is... Oh, he's definitely involved. Him and Connor. The 2 championship rivals, of the 3 anyway, are now 11th and 12th. And I think Kalkas has got front wing damage. I definitely think Connor has. Oh yes, he definitely has. And they can pretty much wave their championships out the window. So we're pretty much relying on Doan, the Lone Ranger in P4 at the moment, to put up a challenge today. As Messina and Milik are battling on the podium at the moment. We haven't seen Milik really battling for a podium for a while, as Doan tries to find a space that did not exist around the inside of the corner, and now he's looking to the outside, gets out tractions Millix there. Nice from Doan. I wonder if it's going to rain because it's very cloudy. Maybe somebody can tell us that, someone that knows. There's Kalkas. Oh, there's another spin. There's Blunt going round, and CIP is the unfortunate fellow who's lost his front wing, I believe, on that. It's allowed Savage to move, yeah, so he's definitely lost his front wing. And that could cause a retirement. We've got Skin Up in P7, McRider, who's never not used the racing line before, is in P6. I'm expecting a few people in the pits. CIP hasn't, but Kalkas and Connor are 10-second penalty for that. Codemasters, you cheeky buggers. As we're head on to lap 2, it's already surfaced running away with this. 1.8 seconds is a fairly sizable gap to Messina. Doan's in P3 ahead of Millix. He managed to sneak by in the last sector by just out-tractioning him out of the hairpin. We also got Dario on the rear of Millix. He's the next one looking at that racing point. Two very feisty drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how this one ends up. He looks definitely close enough. If he had DRS, he would be there or thereabouts. But with a little bit of slipstream, not on this occasion. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Don't looking up. Messina seems to have picked up the pace on the second lap. He's keeping up with, we'll get the track map up and all that, the tyres. He's keeping up quite nice. We've got McRider on that medium tyre. Tim Savis, Connor and Kalkas now. As them two have pitted. Pitted. Yes, that's right. Also got Dario looking intensely at the rear diffuser of Millix. He's looking into turn 1 and he's showing his intent now by heading down the inside with that Red Bull, and that is him up into P4 of this Grand Prix. And oh, McRider's around. He's spinning the wrong way. He's lost a bit of front wing, so he'll be near Connor and Kalkas by the end of this lap, I presume. So that'll give them a glimmer of hope for a point today. Also got CYP, who probably should be diving in the pits, but he's carrying on for now. And judging by they've got mediums, be good. That they will be rain in this race, because I'd expect them to go to the hards and then go to the end of the race, but unless they've decided the hards are the wrong tyre to go with altogether. I've also got Savis. I don't know what a camera angle that is. I don't want that. Look at his front wing. Yes, Codemasters, when you implemented camera angles, that is the camera angle we needed as commentators. 100%. I sort of hope the camera angles are slightly better on the next game, because there's some absolutely useless ones that look nice, but they're useless for commentators when you're trying to put it on battles and if anyone's actually got any front wing left and stuff like that. Here comes down. Not quite close enough to Messina. He's lost a tenth or two to surface. They're losing a little bit of time to the VRT Renault driver. But still keeping in range. And if they have a bit of tie saving going, then it could work in their favour. I'm also watching the gears they're using, because I'm racing next and I've done about 3 laps practicing a Haas car that's pretty useless, let's be honest. There's McRider is going for another spin, I think. Blunt, and I think Blunt's just got past Skin Up. It's another good opportunity for Skin Up to get a few points on the board. As I'm on board with Doan, heading through the middle sector of this lap. So far, yawning. I haven't been sleeping over 24 hours. I've got another race after this, so I'll be dead by the end of that. But focusing on the race, not a lot is happening. I mean, a 2-second gap. We've got 8 attempts between Doan and Messina, and then 4 attempts between Dario and Doan. But except for that, there's some big gaps out there, to be quite honest with you. So we might look at the local scenery. I mean, there's a nice Ferris wheel over there, big wheel, some green flags. We've got a retirement. Please be outside the pit lane. We need a safety car. He's retired in the pit lane, hasn't he? Boring. Why can't we just have a safety car, just to make it a little bit more interesting? Brings Kalkas and Connor back towards the field, and they'll have to pit, possibly. Oh, we've got to move. Doan has made his way past Messina and then is locked up. So will Doan be able to chase down Surface? Obviously we'll look at penalties as well. I'm not going to absolutely write this race off before it's even started. They've both got warnings, so there's a potential opening there for a penalty, possibly. No one's really got any penalties. It's quite surprising, so you can get quite... Surface had 3 warnings there. Kalkas has got a 2 penalties. One of them is a 10-second penalty. We've got a Doan coming into the pit lane already. I expected it towards lap 10 or something for the pit window to open, but maybe the tyres degrade a little bit faster on this track than I thought initially. It's good learning for me because I've got to race here next. So this might all come in handy. Or it might all just end in turn 1, I mean, can't say, but he's going to come out. Oh, he's way ahead of Connor, so it's just behind Savis. He's struggling a little bit, but he's used to running the racing line and we haven't got it turned on, unfortunately. Today, for some reason or other. I'll blame Blunt on that one. As he set up the lobby. Yeah, he's in a battle with Skin Up. It's nice to see Skin Up being competitive today. It seems though, unless Blunt's got some damage, possibly. As we've got to move. As Dario's now got past Messina. It'll be interesting to see how this undercut plays out, because they've dropped off Surface by about a second in the last couple of laps. These two. Doan has to get past Savis to really make this undercut work. So I'm presuming if Surface pits, he'll come out ahead of that Ferrari. Will he pit this up? He does. Just the right side of the ballard and no wall, so that's no mistakes from him. Dario also comes in, and Messina and Milix. Blunt will carry on and lead the race. Will he get hold up? Nearly. Nearly, not quite. Where's Doan in all this? Coming around the final corner. Surface is coming to the end of the pit lane. You'll be able to see him at the top of the screen. He's going to go side by side with this Alfa Romeo of CYP. Not quite side by side, nearly side by side though. That could have been interesting. Doan has closed the gap a little bit. Not enough to make a difference to the race too much. It's become quite shallow in there. That's just what I see. And Doan doesn't make a hash of the last hairpin there. CYP's got no front wing basically. I don't know why he hasn't pit earlier, to be honest. Maybe he just wanted that extra lap. As Messina goes through on Savis as they work their way through the back markers. And this could be the more interesting part of the race. Will anyone get any incidents with these back markers? Has anyone picked up any more warnings? No. Quite surprised CYP's only got 2 warnings for half front wing. Oh, Dario doesn't know where he wants to put that car. I mean, CYP is quite an unpredictable driver in terms of where he places his car. There's Dome V's, that's the fastest lap of the race. On his pursuit of surface. He must win this race. I'm just going to say that to keep the championship alive, and then hope Surface DNF's one of these races, and maybe even both of them to win the championship. He's got to win all 3, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure Connor and Kalkas killed each other at the start. I mean, I'm not 100% because I didn't actually see it too much, only the back end. But here comes Messina. CYP's the longest on the... I mean, this really does surprise me, because he's only got half a front wing. Maybe he's hoping for rain, or a safety car? I mean, there's not much more I can think of why he's staying out there with a broken front wing, a broken car, basically. But if it was raining, they'd go back on softs, I'm pretty sure. So maybe it won't rain. It's definitely a cold track. And Doan is now starting to drop off surface a little bit. He's got a little bit fresher tyres as well as surface. And with 8 laps gone of this race, yeah, this could be the finishing order, really. Surface that's fastest lap. Oh, I'm so tired. Ugh. No, I'm not saying that because it's not the best of races. We've had a bit of action, I'm not going to understate that. Using that first gear for a bit of rotation. And in there as well. Interesting. I'm going to use that in my race and see if how many times I spin. Just watching them gears on down. He's gained a little bit on this lap. I mean, that is a track extension and a half. Jesus. He didn't even get a warning for it. Okay. I'll note that. Dario's got 3 warnings, one's a contact warning then. Milix has got his first penalty. There he is. His Dome V sets the fastest lap of the race to respond. And I believe that's a warning. Yes, it is. That's right. Oh, we have a VSC. Wanted a full course safety car just to make things a bit more exciting. I can't believe I'm wanting a safety car. I mean, usually it's the opposite. But it does definitely mix things up. That's another DNF for CYP. I can't remember the last time I actually finished the race. This is your 4th DNF on the spin. He's only got 21 points this season, CYP. Down in 14th in the championship. And we resume racing, and I think Doan has definitely gained under that safety car. He's gained about 4 tenths. So things could be coming towards him. If we can get within that DRS range of service, get out that and get within that DRS. It'll be interesting as Connor and Calcas are having a bit of a ding dong for the wooden spoon. There we goes again. Dive bomb. That makes the move. I mean, they have a realistic chance of catching Skid up between them. That's for sure. How short shifting he does on his lap is unbelievable. Third, fourth, sixth, seventh. It's crazy. As Doan gets his first penalty, now he's got to hope Surface gets something. He's picked up another warning, Surface is pushing. And it also means Doan's got a few corner cutting tokens now to use up, 2 to be exact, for the next 17 laps. I think it's only a matter of time before Surface picks up a penalty. And interestingly enough, I don't think Dario's got one yet, no. But he's 4 seconds back, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. Him and Messina going for their own battle. Savage picks up a penalty. Yeah, I'm right. Calcas is definitely closing the old Skin up, so it should be a battle. Skin up picks up a penalty. Yeah, I'm running out of words at the moment. What can we look at? We can look at the helmets, I suppose. I mean, it gets a bit boring when we're looking at helmets every week. But it gives us something to talk about. Maybe we could create something in the chat, a debate or something. As we wait for this battle to come alive, I'm hoping Surface picks up a penalty at some point. So it actually gets a bit more exciting, and Doan's got another warning, so... I've got to say this is up there with one of the most boring races I've ever watched in my life. It's not the worst, but it's up there. I mean, there's been a few Melbourne races in real life that have been a bit crap. I'd even take a shitty Monaco race at this point. Just some battling would be nice. Skin Up has been he closed in on Savis actually. We've got a 4-way battle coming along here, interestingly enough. So hold on to your hats, guys. I think we're going to get something. As Caucus uses all the track and more. I think Skin Up has got past Savis there. We'll keep an eye on this battle. On board with Caucus. I'm pretty sure Savis will be a little bit more up the road if Racing Line was on, but that kind of got lost in translation in the messages to Blunt, I think, somewhere. And there goes Savis down the inside, and look how late on the brakes Caucus is. Feel like another 50 metres on the brakes, and now we've got our little battle. Savis is holding, no he isn't, he's backing out of it. And here comes Connor as well. Doesn't even try to defend. I'm pretty sure Skin Up will want to defend. I hope Skin Up wants to defend. I want some actual battling, not just letting people through. That's not kind of what we're in this for. Wear your heart on your sleeve, Skin Up. It's all or nothing. Into turn 1 we go, and Caucus isn't close enough. I mean, Skin Up was with Blunt, and then he's dropped 8 seconds off him. But Blunt's in no man's land, he's not going to get caught. Not by these two anyway, so I'm presuming they'll have to pit again. And probably Savis as well. We're heading to the hairpin. The Williams is looking very tasty in this battle. Is looking to get past Caucus. He's going to get a double slipstream. I think Skin Up will survive this lap if he brakes late enough. Caucus is going to drill it down the inside though. And he didn't even defend the inside, Skin Up. But he's going to get a defensive line into the next corner. Which is interesting enough. It forces Caucus wide. That allows Connor to have more contact with Caucus. As he gets boxed in, he gives him a shove. That was naughty. But here he goes around the outside. Not able to make it stick. It was very naughty from Caucus. I'm presuming he let him back through. A bit naughty from both of them. There was a bit of contact all the way through that corner. And there's surfaces penalty. So that makes it more interesting because the actual gap is 1.4 seconds. Here comes Connor down the inside of Skin Up into turn 1. I don't think Skin Up will be able to defend that. He's going to get the traction on Caucus, but he hits him, which could make things interesting. In fact, it will, because they're going to go side by side. No, they're not. They're going to get caught up in the S's. And that's the end of that. Well, that was the battle for P7. You can try and close Blunt down, but I think 9.5 seconds is a bit of a gap in 12 laps to be making up, especially on the moulder tyres. Doan and Surface are too quick for Dario and Messina at this point. Just seem a bit of a class above it in this race. They're a different sort of pace. And they're kind of running the same pace. It's quite annoying because they've been about 1.5 seconds since the pit stop 10 and 11 laps ago. I mean, look, mid 35s. Look how consistent that is. I mean, that's unreal. He used to do a low 35 to even start trying to catch surface. And catching's one thing and overtaking's another. And he needs to overtake to keep the championship alive. I thought I saw some rain then. Streaming down that Mercedes, but no. A bit of rain wouldn't go amiss at this point in the race, I have to confess. I wouldn't mind a bit of rain. Just to liven it up a bit. Wouldn't mind a few drivers sliding off the track in the rain. Make it a bit more difficult for them. And we won't just see this, whatever this is, at the moment, because Dome can't even get close enough to do anything about surface. I believe surface is just holding back a little bit, he's just running the race at his own pace. He's not really pushing too hard. Shame Kalkas and Connor haven't really been able to get near the front of the field. Would have been interesting to see if they could have pushed him, but I don't think even them two had the pace on these two today. It'd have been probably in a Dario Messina battle, but at least they'd have made that more interesting. Because that's stagnated for a few laps. So Connor picks up another penalty. As we are 10 laps from the end now, and I'm sort of glad for that, but we are looking like we're going to be crowning the reigning champion as the SLR Season 7 2-1 champion. With Doan hot on his heels, and he's had a good run to the season. Doan can look for positives out of this and think about carrying that over to next season, because he's done a good job at the back end of this. And with new challenges like Legend and maybe McRider, maybe Zert if he turns up. If you can guarantee he can turn up every race, because he's very quick indeed as well. Maybe Mark as well, he's capable of doing things. So there's quite a few people coming through T2 that will make next season more interesting, that's for sure. I'm expecting next season we're going to lose a few of these drivers because the season hasn't been good. It hasn't been good enough from my point of view, but I've got some plans to make sure that doesn't happen again, as we're already in planning the next season that will be released. I can say shortly after the end of this season has concluded. I mean, even the T2 Championship will probably be done today as well. So we could have 2 new champions on the books, and all 3 championships done with 2 races to spare. So you never know, I might release it a little bit earlier. But still got a lot to work on. As Doan has closed a little bit in his recent laps, he's a 0.7 now, but he's picked up another penalty though. I didn't notice that while I was too busy droning on. Just surface is so consistent. It's been one of his better drives this season, to be fair to him. I'm going to give him all the praise he deserves, to be honest. If he wins this race, he'll break his longest streak without winning SLR. That'd be 8 without a win. And even Calcas is on a barren spell, really. Yeah, this will be his 5th race without a podium. And for a championship challenge, yeah, I'd have to tell you that isn't going to win you any championships. And before that, he was in pretty decent form. I mean, he could have won Germany, that was a DNF, unfortunately for him. His early season form was good. Connor has been better. Say Connor and Doan have really came through in the second half of the season as the better drivers of the 4. Surface and Calcas dominated the early stages. Yeah, these two have come through really nice, and next season they could be right up there. That's for sure. And with 7 laps to go this race. Yeah, there's not too much more to say. Is Connor's pit and so is Calcas, so that puts them way off anybody. They was hoping for a safety car, I think. 90 laps on mediums are probably enough. Skin up goes past. And there's an overtake there. I was trying to get hold of it. Savis has been overtaken by Calcas. And Connor's coming out the end of the pit lane, and that's how much he's gained. Calcas sets the fastest lap of the race. That's the only thing he can do. And Connor's already well round. So what's Calcas been doing? He had a nice spin somewhere. Or has he had a 5-second stop and go? Because that would make sense. Yeah, but the gaps aren't great, I have to admit. There's 1.5 seconds between them and the leader, but obviously Doan's got penalties. Surface, there's 2 warnings away from a penalty, and all that Doan can hope for is that becomes a penalty, and he can close the gap and win the race. That's the only thing he can do. It's a beautiful Mercedes, by the way. It's probably my favourite Mercedes livery since they returned in 2010. I'll give it that. The 2020 livery is really, really nice as well. I like the red. That's probably my favourite of the lot. But up to 2019, this is probably the best. That's for sure. Just looking at livery designs anyway. I really liked the Renault when it came out, but no, not so much. It looks a bit, yeah, it looks like a bit boring. I thought me Mr. Gear the surface, but felt like he was just taking his time, plodding around. He did a 35.3, so he's picked up the pace a little bit. He's still got a lot of pace on the mediums. And I think he's closing a little bit, Doan. He's a little bit too late. He's done a 0.4 that lap. 0.5, another warning. He's really putting some pace. He's keeping surface honest. As he gets on the curve there. And, I don't know what's happening right now. The lag is difficult to judge. And the one thing I really hope for the next game is that the lag is sorted out, because it's horrific. Can't judge what the car's doing, and even when you're driving you can't judge what the other driver's doing because it's just bouncing about all over the place. So it makes it so much more difficult to do anything. It's Connor that's the fastest lap of the race. As they are in pursuit of Skinner, but that's not impossible. Calkers and Connor. I've put them both in that black bracket. So taking a lot of time out of him. Blunt's P6 is safe. We have 5 laps for this race to go. Sorry about the lack of commentating. I'm looking at my phone, to be honest. Trying to keep myself a bit entertained with the remainder of this race. I don't think any of the penalties. Calcus has left the session, and they'll probably leave the group chat in a minute, because that's what usually happens. Doan still got them 2 penalties. It doesn't look like the surface is going to get that second penalty. Anyway, with 4 laps to go of this race, I'm just gonna commentate the fuck out of it. So we've got surface leading 2.3 seconds away is Doan. The only chance he's got is if a big mistake happens with surface. It looks like surface is going to claim his second SLR championship here today, and it could be his last as well, knowing what I do know. I mean, I'm not 100% sure if he'll be here next season. I hope he is, to defend against new challenges with lots of, spoke about Legend and McRider, people like that coming through, and hopefully some new guys bleeding through the leagues. And yeah, next season looks very promising. I hope it does work out. Knowing where my career is going, it could be my last. I'm not 100% on that one now. But we'll see. I hope SLR can continue for a long time yet to come, though. But we've still got a lot to learn, that's for sure. And yeah, we've got 9 drivers going to the end of this race. We've savaged the last of them. He was in the middle of absolute nowhere. Connor is now in P7, by the way. He got ahead of Skin Up. I missed that overtake. But he's going to get nowhere near Blunt, unless he makes a mistake. Milik's kind of dropped off. He looked fairly promising for them, but 10 points is quite a big amount of points. He hasn't had that for a while. So he's DNF last 3. He's going to put him in the fight with Dario, possibly. I don't know. Could be close. We'll check the penalty situation for everybody that likes to know. Doan still has the 2 plus 2, 3 warnings. She's 1 away, really. Dario doesn't actually have a penalty. But Doan's so far behind. He's so far behind Doan, it doesn't make a difference. Doan gets another penalty. Messina has 2 warnings as well. Milix has 3 penalties. Blunt has none. Connor has 1. So Connor's had a good race except for that. 2 for Skin Up. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Savis. Only 2 penalties away from disqualification. Connor gets a second. But the positions won't change because of just the gaps. And I'm very surprised and unhappy there was no rain falling in this race, because it's been the same race, overcast but nothing. I'm really hungry. I wonder what I've got for my tea. But to advertise the next race, as we head on to the final lap of the race, we have the T2 action with No Way Jose coming up. Hopefully we can get a full grid. T2's grids have been really nice this season. I'll pull that down to Chris Mocking Mix, who will be leaving us at the end of the season, unfortunately. And he's been great. He's done a good job whatever league he's been running. He's been having numbers every time, so I can't fault him. It's just been T1 this season. They've been a little bit meh. But yeah, Surface. What can I say about the man? He's been unbelievable this season. He went on an unbelievable run at the start of the season, which is basically winning the championship. He's only won 4 races, but this will be 5 races. This will be his 6th win of this 21 race season, which isn't a lot in comparison, but it's done the job for him. And he's Renault, but he's going to round the final few corners now, and it's safe to say now we can say that VRT Surface or LR Surface, as he was beginning to wins this T1 championship for a 2nd time, and equals SLR Forium's record of 2 championships. The person who he really, when he started racing in this league, this person he looked up to as more of a mentor, more someone you looked at and just thought, it's so consistent, so quick and consistent. And it would have been nice to see Thorium come up against Surface. Maybe next season he'll return. I'm not ruling it out. I'd never rule that one out. I think Doan got a penalty on the last lap, which means it's 6,000th gap to Dario, who gets P2, and that's joint best result of the season for Dario. And he gets a bit of a revenge from the Mexico race. He's been in good form recent, Dario, since Russia, which was a bit of a shocker for him. Yeah, I haven't got too much to say about the race, but well done Surface, well deserved. There's nobody else I don't think really deserved it. It's too many mistakes. Doan, if you would have been better at the beginning of the season, 100% you'd have been in there, and definitely next season you'll have half a chance of making something of this. But yeah guys, this has been a weird Grand Prix. I'm sorry about the numbers. I can blame the drivers all they want that didn't bother telling them. As a league owner, I've got to take responsibility and just say, yeah, it's not fantastic. But hopefully, last 2 races we can go out with a bit of a bang. That's my aim for now. But there are your results. Final standing, the fastest lap goes to Connor, about 33.3. Just pipped out Calcas in the end. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to make this run any more longer and put me through any more pain. Next week, we're at the Autodromo Carlos Pache, something along those lines, Interlagos, one of my favourite tracks. That will be a very close race indeed, and I hope to see you guys next week for that. And here's your knackered Nene ending the stream, and I'll see you in half an hour's time for the T2 race. Good night.